Every week, my gas can was almost empty. But here's the thing, I only had a 1-quart lawnmower tank. Where was all that fuel going? I set up a hidden camera. What I caught changed everything. I lived next door to a man who everyone on the block knew was trouble. He wasn't just a bad neighbor, he was a habitual thief. And he had been walking into my backyard like it was his personal gas station, taking my 5-gallon can, emptying it into his car and mower, then returning the empty can to my patio. I had no idea this was happening until I started noticing something wrong every single time I went to mow. The math never added up. 5 gallons in, almost nothing in the mower tank. I started paying closer attention. Then I noticed the can sitting in a different spot one morning. I didn't move it. Someone else did. The paranoia set in fast. There were no cheap security cameras back then, so I did the next best thing. I rigged a webcam to my laptop with motion detection software. I aimed it at the backyard. I left the house, and 5 minutes later, I checked my phone. It was off. But I got home and reviewed the footage. There he was, my neighbor, walking right into my backyard, picking up my gas can and walking out with it. I watched it happen. And I felt something shift inside me. Not anger, something colder. I watched the footage 4 times. Each time, the betrayal got deeper. This man looked me in the eye every single morning, waved at me, and then went behind my back to steal from me. I had choices. I could confront him, but he's the type who'd deny everything. I could call the cops, but without proof, it's one man's word against another. So I decided to do something else, something that would stick, something he'd never see coming. Here's what I did, and trust me, this is where everything changes. For the next week, every single time I needed to use the bathroom, I walked out to that gas can. I made sure it was fresh. I made sure it was full. Piss in, seal it up, wait. 1 week of this, every single day. By the end, that 5-gallon can was absolutely full of something that smelled close enough to gasoline to fool anyone who wasn't paying attention. But here's the part that made me grin. I made sure the neighbor saw me packing bags. I made sure he saw me checking my car fluids. I made a big show of getting ready to leave on a trip. I even mentioned it out loud, right where he could hear. I wanted him to think I was gone. I wanted him to think the coast was clear. Then I drove around the block and came back an hour later. And there he was, standing in his front yard, bright red in the face, yanking on his lawnmower rope so hard I thought he was going to have a stroke. He was pulling that rope over and over. Nothing, not a single sputter. His face went from red to purple. He threw the mower handle down and kicked the deck. He was absolutely losing his mind. I watched from my car window. I let the smile come. Then he got in his car. Made it about 2 blocks before it just died on him. He got out and popped the hood, shaking his head, slamming his fist on the fender. His car was never the same after that. 2 for 1, his car and his mower, destroyed in a single afternoon. But wait, there's more. This guy wasn't just a thief, he had arrest warrants, outstanding ones. How did I find out? I applied for a sheriff's ride-along program, in his name. I signed him up. The sheriff showed up at his door. He got taken in for questioning. That was the moment I realized this man had been a menace to this entire neighborhood for years, and now he finally had to answer for it. Poetic justice. Word spread fast on our block. Nobody felt sorry for him. Nobody did. He came back from the sheriff's ride-along thinking he just got randomly selected for questioning. He never connected it to me. And the best part? He never stole from anyone on the block again. His car sat in the driveway for weeks, broken. His mower collected dust. He lost everything he had taken from me, and a lot more. My gas can was back on my patio, empty of course, but full of something he couldn't get back. His reputation, his dignity, his peace of mind. The neighbor who thought he was untouchable, he got touched, hard. Now here's what I want you to think about. Some people will tell you revenge is petty, that you should just let it go. But when someone crosses you repeatedly, takes from you with no shame, and acts like nothing happened, Sometimes the only language they understand is consequences. The next time someone tries to take what's yours, remember this story. Remember that sometimes the best revenge isn't loud. It's quiet, it's patient, and it's absolutely devastating. If this story gave you something, share it. Someone out there needs to hear this. And if you've got your own story, good ones get featured here.